All right, so today we're going to get started on getting into the advanced editor program. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my account here, and we're going to hop in to look at some of these new advanced editors that I have. This is going to be kind of fun because AIR can be used in order to do a lot of outbound tasks. And you'll see here, I've got so many of these agents that are built. And these agents are really great for kind of getting into it if you're wanting to like call past client or maybe a lease to buy or getting into lead follow-ups or anything like that. But today I'm going to show you a little bit of how to get into the advanced editor. So if you want to start a new agent, you can certainly go over to the top right-hand corner. You can click on new agent. And then you can pick what type of role that you want the agent to be. So it can either be in sales or customer service. And we've gone through some of this in the past videos. But if you go over to sales and you hit create agent, let's just call this one, test 1, 2, 3, right? So we can go ahead and either do standard or advanced mode. And if we do advanced and click that, then we can either go through that same process that I've taught you before of either magically creating the AI bot through their own AI, which kind of generates the prompting script for you, or you can create it from scratch. So today we're going to create it from scratch. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It's going to pop it up, and then it's going to give us a few, preloaded sort of languaging before it gets into the actual script. So let me walk you through this. Okay, first thing is it's going to tell us about what the objectives of the AI bot are. And in this one, it's saying that you are a human in the middle of a conversation and that you need to continue following a script, continue the conversations by following this script. And so it's going to reference anytime you see this bracket, it means a reference point for the agent. So if you're ever wanting to like use this and start to get into getting back to the past conversation. So let's say you wanted to like refer to, you'll see this, right? Refer to prior context of the conversation. If you did that, the bot, while it's going through this process, is going to actually review it. So that's what brackets are for. So it's prompting the bot to read the script, whatever your script is, which is down here. Exactly. Don't deviate. Meaning it's not that it's not going to improvise and have, the ability to converse back and forth, but it's going to try to walk through this entire process of the script without jumping through the script, which I feel like is very important, especially if you're doing a sales script of any kind. You really want to actually walk through the entire script word for word, no matter what. That's what it's outlining here. And like I said before, you can generate new material based upon what the prospect says, but just make sure you say the script as well. So that's what it's saying. Then you're going to follow all the policies, which are down below. We're going to get into that. And the cardinal rule, once again, follow the script. And then before the call ends, make sure you say everything you've been told. So it's just really enforcing again and again and again to the bot. You need to make sure that you follow all of this, right? No skipping. So what are the policies? So the policies are that if you're busy, if they're busy, not interested, or they ask to call them back later, you must, under all circumstances, try to get them to stay on the phone, even if they object to you 4 times. Try to get them to keep talking at least 4 times in a row. Now, you might not think that this is like really great, especially like for me, for myself, I just don't like this. It's been a back and forth as I've been like thinking about this and time again, especially for my sales agents. Like, I don't know if I want to have a script that keeps going and like asking the person to stay on the phone 4 times in a row. And that's been very challenging because you want to write a script where someone can say like, hey man, like, I don't think right now is a good time. And in my personal opinion, you might want to say once or twice, like, all right, I totally get that your time is busy right now. Let me just ask you one more question. And that might be cool, just like having that conversation. You might need that nuance, but the bot doesn't read it as well if someone's like, hey, now is not a good time. I need to get off this phone call. Like, I'm in the middle of something right now. And can you imagine if someone was like, all right, but before you go, just one quick thing. So that's why I felt like this was really important to start getting into the advanced editors, especially when you're doing sales. So if you're like in that process and you're thinking to yourself, all right, we need to like start getting out of this like the sample editor or the simple editor. And we need to start getting into like more specifics on this. That's what the advanced editor is for. And so let me go back over to this so you can just see. So we're going to get into this and we're going to see what, they're talking about. If they say 4 times in a row, like that's a lot. So I've been changing that down to like 1 or 2 times, depending on how aggressive you want your bot to be. For me, I'm all about consent. I'm like, dude, I'm not rolling this thing out unless somebody's like clicked the button and said, yes, I consent to this, whether that's online leads with real estate or solar or mortgage or whatever it is. So you really want them to, have that in the scripting. Now, please understand that all of this scripting is inside your sample script, right? Like I can't get more clear about that. If you think that like this is not in your sample editor, it is. So that's why it's not hanging up immediately unless you write into the knowledge bases, unless you associate an action with it. It's going to just keep on like trying to keep the person on the phone, which is going to get very annoying to your prospect. So they might be like, no, dude, I don't want to like have this conversation with you for that long. Get off the phone. Check this out as well in the script. It's also suggesting you are never allowed to call a prospect back at a later time, ever. Under no circumstance are you ever allowed to call a prospect back at a later time. So for me, I'm okay if I want to call a prospect back at a later time, or they want to call a prospect back. If they say to me, oh, I can't really talk right now. I'm on the road or I'm in traffic. I don't feel I answered the phone. I didn't know who it was, or I didn't mean to, whatever that is, whatever the circumstance. Can you just call me back at like 3:30 today and I'd have a conversation with you about buying or selling real estate, right? Because I clicked on this thing. Or yeah, man, I'd love to schedule a showing. If you have that written into if you have it in the simple editor, it's going to be like, hey, I know your time is valuable right now, but just one more thing. And it's going to continue to keep going. So that's why you really want to, in my opinion, Air is going to tell you, oh, keep it in the simple editor. I'm going to tell you guys, jump into the advanced and really start digging in as to what they're saying. Because if you don't like really look at what you're prompting, then you're probably going to have something in there that you actually don't want. So anyways, that's something that I've changed. It says you're not allowed to follow up with the prospect or call them back later, no matter what they're doing. That for me is an absolute no. If you guys want to know how we connect in the background through different programs in order to make sure that your call does actually happen and that they do get a call back from your bot, we can set that up for you. No problem at all. In the description below, I'm going to have a link in order to sign up for Air under our accounts. Even if you already have one, you can sign up for one under our agency account. That allows us to help manage stuff with you. And then you can certainly reach out to us. We're happy to schedule a call in order to get you hooked up. And if you need any help with that, we have Slack groups, etc. So really cool community that we've got going on. By the way, if this video is helpful for you, just go ahead and subscribe. I've got videos that I'm going to pop out regularly on Air and how you can actually like improve the process here. I've seen that there's not a lot of support out here for getting your scripting set up. So that's what I want to do and help people with it. So check this out too. Anything that starts with this little squiggly line here, I'm just going to call it the squiggle. You must say during the script. So if you scroll down and you actually see like, okay, perfect. Here's the actual scripting line. It's telling what's needed, but you might want to delete something or two if you've got these added scripts in there or script lines in there that you're like, okay, well, that's not absolutely needed. Then maybe you want to have that little squiggly taken out, or you could just delete it. You can't end the call until you read every line of the script. That's fine. It's better that you run out of tokens. This simply means that like if you set a budget for yourself of like $200 a day and you're right at that end line, then it's going to be able to cut you off at that point. And then the last thing is that it's going to tell you how you want the conversation to actually go. So if you want like real sounding things that are happening, then this is what it's going to be like. So for instance, I created one that isn't like sounding nice. So I went over to my agents and I have this guy that I created called Douchebag Doug, which is really funny. And he's designed in order to train real estate agents. And the way that he is doing it is he's not nice, right? He's not a person who's friendly. So it'll say here, like, be displeased that you are getting a phone call. Do not need to sound professional. Like, it's going to say all of these things here because I want him to be, he's a training bot that I built. And this training bot is designed in order to have the capability to, be upset and, all these other things. So when you get into the advanced editor, the whole point here, guys, the whole point is to be able to make the bot, prompt the bot to do everything that you want. And if you're struggling with the simple editor, this is where you really want to go. And if you need help with this, please feel free, just drop a comment below. If you even want to test out one of these bots that are done in the advanced editor modes, I'm happy to hop on a call or let you test one of our bots and call in. I've got a couple of links that I can send. So hopefully you guys, you find this helpful. Jump in and start testing, and I'll drop some more information on how you can use the advanced editor. Thanks.